Okay, so I'm just going to kind of introduce myself and just go over my journey into pre-sales. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you're here, Mrs. Jones. Well, anyways, my name is Jessica Ashwood, and I was an elementary school teacher for 6 years. It feels so weird to say was because all of my fellow teachers are literally like starting up in the classroom this week. So it's so weird to see them decorate their classrooms, but I haven't minded at all. But anyways, so I was a teacher for 6 years. I started to feel burnt out, and I just was thinking like, I'm pretty happy right now, but 10, 20, 30 years down the line, I was like, oh my God, I can't. I was like, I can't retire. I had people on my team that were elderly people in the school, and I was just like, there is no way in heck I am going to make it until I am 65. Okay, I just cannot. And I met with the financial advisor, and my retirement, even though I was doing the max amount, was very grim. And I would be basically in poverty forever. And it was sad. So anyways, I was looking for other things, and I was making a LinkedIn profile because us teachers, we don't usually use LinkedIn. So I made my little LinkedIn profile, did a little bit of perusing, and I was like, you know what? I think tech is the place to go. And of course, being a teacher, I was like, ed tech. Yeah. So I did that. I was like, ed tech doesn't really pay that well, does it? So I started looking at other things. And I was listening to a podcast called Teacher Exodus Podcast, because I was in all these Facebook groups for leaving teaching, and it was posted about in there. So that is how I heard about solutions consulting. So actually, Adam Christie, the person who runs the Teacher Exodus podcast, I am pretty sure that he is in the cohort 4. So that's pretty cool. So he is the first step in that process for sales. He was a sales development representative. And, even that sounded so much better than teaching. So I started looking at the sales development roles, which is kind of like the cold calling thing. And I actually had an interview lined up and everything for the cold calling and all that type of role. But I was like, I listened to his episode about solutions consulting, and I was like, shoot, you can make 6 figures and not have to cold call, sign me up. So in the episode, Adam Christie introduces his friend, Dan Lehman. And Dan Lehman worked his way as a teacher into a position as a solutions consultant, and he kind of like worked his way up the ladder. But he mentioned briefly his wife, Kelly Lehman, but he didn't say her name, and said that she did a tech boot camp and went right into the role. So I did some, of course, LinkedIn stalking. I found Dan Lehman, stalked him until I found him posting about his wife, Kelly Lehman, and I found out that Kelly Lehman, his wife, did PreSales Academy. That's how I found out about solutions consulting and PreSales Academy. So I told my family and that I wanted to do PreSales Academy, and they all thought I was insane. I'm sure 90% of you in here, if you have told someone that you are thinking about doing this, I am sure that someone has told you that you're being scammed, right? Okay, so same here. And I was a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, but when I saw that PreSales Academy was run through a group called PreSales Collective, it made me feel comfortable because PreSales Collective has so many reputable pre-sales leaders in it that it made me feel comfortable. If you look at the list of the mentors and coaches, they're working at like Meta, they're working at VMware and Adobe. And there's just no way that these people that work for these big name companies are going to be like in a scam thing. So that's why I was like, I'm going to sign up. My family thought I was insane, but my husband, who thought I was insane, now he decided to move from law enforcement to IT. So he is happier now because he's about to transition his job because I gave him the courage to do it. And 2 of my very near and dear close family members are actually in the next cohort. So they thought I was crazy. Now they're all switching careers or doing the PreSales Academy as well. Okay, so switching gears. What was my experience with PreSales Academy? So I was really nervous to do the role plays, but I thought it was so helpful. And that is, we did a lot of hands-on experience. Of course, there's like little courses that we do online, but what was really helpful to me was the role plays. And if you don't like the idea of doing it, you just have to get over it, because guess what? All of your interviews are going to be role plays as well. So when you get to the final round of your interview, you're going to have to awkwardly do a demo role play, but that'll be okay because you'll do PreSales Academy and you'll just be like awesome at these awkward role plays. And then when you get hired in your first pre-sales role, you're going to have to keep doing these awkward role plays. So just get used to it. I have my first one in training for UKG tomorrow. So I will be continuing to do these awkward role plays basically for the rest of my career. So just think of it as a blessing that you get to practice these awkward role plays before you have your interviews and your training role plays. So you're going to do a lot of role plays. Okay, so going through PreSales Academy and balancing my life, I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be easy, especially if you have kids and a family, or if you work 2 jobs. I commuted 45 minutes to work, and I also have a toddler who had to be back and forth from daycare. And I also was voluntold to do an after school thing 2 to 3 days a week. And then of course the faculty meetings. So yeah, I was super busy and it was torture. I'm not gonna lie, but it was so worth it. Okay, so you're gonna be really busy. You're gonna have class 2 to 3 times a week, an hour and a half long usually. And you're gonna probably have a few hours of coursework to do afterwards. But guess what? It's gonna be okay. And then when you get into your role like me, I had 1 meeting today. I went to Panera, okay? Tomorrow I have 1 meeting and I'm gonna read this book right here that they assigned me to read 150 pages of by the pool. Okay, so yeah, my Monday through Wednesday were hectic, but today and tomorrow, I have like 1 meeting and I'm just gonna sit poolside reading, demonstrating to win, okay? So your life will get better. You'll be in torture while you do the academy and during your interview processes, but then you can go to Panera and do your work sometimes and sit poolside and read your little book that they gave. It's going to be great. It's worth it. Okay, benefits that the program provided me. I could literally go on Maddie and Yuji's calendar, and I'm sure it's the same with everyone else that's supportive, and just harass them. I would just sign up for a meeting, not even tell them. I would go on their calendar. You're going to have access when you join. I would go on their calendar and just book a meeting, not say anything, just book it, just show up and they'd be there. It was amazing. So I would do that when I was confused about an assignment. I would do it when I had an interview coming up, and they would just show up, and however I needed help, they would help me. So I didn't ever feel alone, and I didn't feel like I had to bother them to get their attention. I just would literally book a meeting, not even tell them. They'd be there. They helped me with my resume. I've had so many people say my resume looks amazing. I literally barely did anything. They helped me so much. And then interview coaching. If I had an interview, I would book practice sessions with them. They helped us with tips on posting to LinkedIn. So there are kind of 2 ways to get a job, in the easiest ways at least. Posting on LinkedIn, and then you're going to have hiring managers reach out to you because they're going to see you're serious about pre-sales. Or you can also network by messaging people if you feel more comfortable that way, because you don't want to advertise that you're looking to leave your job. They're also going to provide you support for that as well. So whatever method you're most comfortable with, they're going to help you learn to get leads, because cold applying can work, but it's the least successful. So they're going to help you so that hopefully you don't have to just cold apply. Okay, advice for prospective PreSales Academy students. Don't be afraid to fail. You're not being scammed. So just put that out of your head. You're not being scammed. I got my UKG shirt. I used my first UKG paycheck to make this office look cute. So you're not being scammed, I promise you. So just get that out of your head. They give you so many options. So if you were a poor teacher like me who couldn't afford $7 grand, you can do the deferred option. I have only paid my reservation fee. That is it. The cost of reserving a spot. That's it. I haven't even paid a dime yet. My first time I'll pay the PreSales Academy anything will be at the end of this month. And my paycheck, they are not lying. When they told you that number with the 114K plus, they were not lying. So I do not care. They can take their 10% until I hit the amount that I owe. It's fine with me. I was making 48,000 as a teacher. I am making more than double that now. Take your 10%. I will still be getting a huge raise. Okay. So yeah, just do it. Like, you will not regret it. If you fail an assignment, they will let you redo it. I failed an assignment. I have a picture that I took of myself where I was crying because I failed the assignment because I thought it'd be funny later to have. You will be able to redo the assignment. It's okay. And as long as you pass the class, you'll be good to go. If you do the deferred option like I did, you don't pay until you land a role making a significant amount of money. So literally that's the only way that I could get my husband to like accept the fact that I was going to do it, whether he wanted me to or not. So that's what I have to say. Any questions, feel free and I'll answer, but thank you for letting me speak.
We start off with the questions for Jessica. Hi, Jessica. I have also been a teacher for the past 5 years, and I'm feeling slightly behind in my understanding of tech. Did you feel that you were at a disadvantage because of your previous job experience?
So I am not technical by any means. This little setup I have right here with this MacBook Pro and iPad and all these other doodads, I did not set this up. My husband set this up for me. I did not know how. If I get headphones in the mail, I'm like, how do I Bluetooth these? Like, I don't know. So I'm not technical at all. But yes, I do feel a little bit behind, but I have a great group of people that I work with, and they literally, their mantra is progress, not perfection. Like everyone starts at a different place of the mountain. And as long as you're climbing a little bit each day and getting a little bit better, that's what they want to see. They hired us for our potential, not necessarily for our skills from the get-go. They said that they're going to get everyone in training where they need to be eventually, and everyone's going to get there at different paths. Thankfully, there are other career changers in my onboarding group, so I don't feel quite as behind. But yes, I do wake up with like eager hunger to learn. I'm like, okay, so I like am a former kindergarten teacher. What can I do to get on my A game? But I also still am going to just sit and read this book by the pool tomorrow, and it'll be fine because they told me I have to read 150 pages. They did not say where to read it. But no, I don't think it's a problem at all. You don't need to be technical.
Great. Thanks for answering that, Jessica.
Just can I ask one question too, just for clarification? When did you graduate roughly from PreSales Academy, and when did you start in your role at
Okay,
UKG as
so
consultant?
UG, you said to wait to apply until the end of the academy. I didn't apply anywhere. People were coming to me because I posted on LinkedIn, as they said, and people were just coming at me, and it was towards the end of the academy. So I'm like, let me just start this because these interview processes take a very long time. So I finished May 25th, and I literally had an offer on the table less than 3 weeks after. I started July 18th. So my start date was a little bit later, but yeah, it was awesome. Very quick.
Yeah, and so we have another question. Maybe you can share an example of what the onboarding process was like for you.
Yeah, so I'm in the onboarding process right now, and it has been great. So the first week or two, you're probably just going to have a bunch of video sessions with a bunch of other people, and you're just going to sit there off camera like this. Maybe on your treadmill if you have one like me, literally just listening, like what are the benefits that they have to offer. You might have like a new hire happy hour. I won a pair of socks during one of those, very exciting. A bunch of meetings like how they handle diversity and inclusion. Like there's a bunch of meetings to start, and you literally just off camera and just kind of chill. And then after like your first week, you're probably going to get like with the training group. I have a training group. There are 2 other people in there that are new as well. And we're just kind of all training together. Each week we have different modules that we have to do in the company. So we have like a sandbox. And something cool about that is you're going to get experience with a software in a sandbox when you're in PreSales Academy. So in PreSales Academy, you're going to use Salesforce, and it's very similar in my onboarding now. In UKG, I have a UKG sandbox. So I'm doing very similar things to as in PreSales Academy. It's basically like PreSales Academy on steroids. I'm doing like the same things, but with a different software. So basically every week I have different activities I have to do in the demo software. So yeah, I can follow all those steps. It's super easy to follow. They have videos and they're like, okay, do this, do this, do this. And then we have our live sessions with our little onboarding group where we talk about what we're going to do. Starting this week, every Friday, we're going to have a demo with our trainer. It's literally just with my trainer. No one else is watching. Just every Friday, I'll have to do a little demo with her. This first one is called the Rip the Band-Aid demo. And she said she has 0 expectations. So tomorrow is my first demo and she says she does not expect anything of us. So I'm going to do my best, but she says that from our first demo, she's going to understand our style and create a personal custom plan based off of what she thinks that we're ready for. So if they hire you, it's because not necessarily because of the skills you have, but because of the potential you have. So yeah, every week I'm going to learn more and more. And every week my expectations are going to be higher for my little demos, but I feel like I have so much support and I don't ever feel like I can't ask a question.
Another question for you. Annette says, if I'm in a teaching contract until next May, when would you recommend doing the cohort to have something by next summer?
So your contract is just a guideline, not a real, you don't have to do it. So I highly recommend, if I didn't get my job by this time, I would have totally left. I mean, it would have been a secret. I wouldn't have said anything, but I mean, I would just at least give yourself like 3 or 4 months, so that you have like, your month or 2 of the academy and then a couple months for job searching. But I wouldn't let that hold you back. Teachers, we are like indentured servants. We get this teeny little window of time where you're allowed to leave without getting in trouble. I think if you find a job that is a great fit, like, I don't think it should hold you back. Like, yeah, it sucks and you're going to feel really guilty, but I think if you get an opportunity, there's nothing wrong with breaking your contract. I mean, if you're not going to be a teacher anymore, there's really nothing that they can do.
It looks like we have another question for Jessica. What kind of skills helped you as a former teacher be successful in this job?
Yes. So that was something that was really important to me. And if you stalk me on LinkedIn, I actually made a bunch of videos and TikTok where I talked about my transferable skills. I highly recommend using TikTok as just like a way to kind of take a little video and then post it on LinkedIn if you do decide to go that route to try to find a job. But yes, my transferable skills, I love talking to people. Obviously, that's what I had to do all day long. And, I'm used to like being super busy. I'm not nervous really talking in front of people. I mean, I'm not as used to talking in front of adults, but it's not too bad. We're as teachers, we have to be engaging. Like our students get bored, especially mine that were 5. So they get really bored really easily. So we can hold a room, we can keep people entertained. And that's something super important because you're going to have people that are so busy that are on your demonstration call and they're going to be on Slack, they're going to be emailing, they're going to be on Facebook. You want to be able to captivate their attention, and no one's better at that than teachers. We keep our students engaged all day long, so we can definitely hold the room for a demonstration. So I think that that's one of the keys. We're very organized. Like teachers have their crap together. All the teachers have like really cute planners. Their like schedules are always super color coded. Like we have everything together. So like we can create a freaking awesome outline for our demonstration and it is going to be amazing. So like, there's just so many, I can't even name all the ways, but like teaching, like I had so many people that were so impressed and everyone knows a teacher. Like many of the hiring managers that reached out to me, they might not have been a teacher, but like their wife was a teacher or their grandma was a teacher or their best friend's a teacher. So like if everyone can get into this role, but speaking to the teachers, literally like teachers are superheroes. Everyone loves you. And it's like an underdog story. Like they want you on their team. Like it looks good. Like I just hired this kindergarten teacher as a solutions consultant. I mean, everyone wants to see you succeed.